Welcome to Beyond the Workout with your host, Eric Dunstan. Hello, everyone. This is Coach E. I just want you to know that anything you hear on Beyond the Workout podcast is just information only. It is not a diagnosis for your issues. So anything you hear for well being, nutrition, fitness, exercise, any of those things, just take it that way as information. If you need help for a specific situation, please seek a professional. See your doctor, see a professional personal trainer, and they will diagnose your issues and they will take care of you. All right, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Hello, everyone, and welcome to another show of Beyond the Workout. It is me, Coach E, Eric Dunstan. And as you can see by the title, Wear It Well, Tech and Style Beyond the Workout. That's an interesting title because what we're going to dig deep into is not just how you show up to the gym, but what you wear when you show up, from the tech gear and tech gear, talking about what you wear on your wrist, like what I have here, and what you might wear on your finger and on your body. Yeah, that is technology you can put on your body as well. But we're going to dive into that and see why it's important for those of us over 50. So we'll explore how smart devices are guiding recovery, optimizing workouts, and keeping us safer and sharper. And we'll talk gear, why cotton and denim belong in the closet and not on the gym floor. Now, I have seen you. I've actually created this image here, and it is an AI generated image. If you look at it closely, you can see there's some flaws in it because I didn't want to take anyone, that I might have seen in real life and actually throw them up here because I don't have the right to do that. But I can create this image to say, yeah, some of you go to the gym like this. You'll put on that cotton tank top, or maybe just a regular cotton t-shirt, and you'll go in a gym with your jeans and sneakers on. No, that's not good, and that's not what we're going to do. So let's just dive in now to why this is important for us, those of you who are my contemporaries that are over 50. So after 50, fitness has less to do with chasing your personal best, your personal records, but it has everything to do with preserving strength, tracking recovery, and training smart. So this is about staying consistent, reducing injury risk because we know it can happen. When we get up in age, there are things that can happen that we can get injured from, and it can happen right there in the gym. But knowing now what your body needs is important and not just guessing at it. And so wearable tech actually gives us that stage. It tracks recovery, sleep, heart rate, breathing, movement, sometimes even posture and stress patterns. Now you pair that with the right clothing, gear designed for movement, ventilation, and confidence, and you're equipped to not just survive your workouts, but to thrive in those workouts. So let's start with what most of us are familiar with, smart watches. Well, my go-to, this image here, is the Apple Watch. Now I have the Series 10. I wear it day and night. It tracks my resting heart rate. A lot of people don't agree with wearing it while you sleep, but I do because it actually, you know, tracks my sleep quality, my sleep patterns. And also I use it to track the calories I burn when I do my cardio and my resistance training. But it also gives me reminders of mindfulness, when to meditate, hydration, and when to stand up. Now, I have turned those off because it became a nuisance for me, but you can use it for your needs. I've only turned it off because sometimes I'll stand up and it'll tell me, "Hey, stand up." I'm standing up. So it has some flaws. It's not perfect. But because I am already a fitness coach, I already know those things. I already take care of my hydration. I always try my best to meditate and Also, I'm always moving, standing. I'm not always just, I don't live a sedentary lifestyle. So it's almost like having a personal coach on my wrist when I'm at the gym, but also when I'm asleep because it's keeping track of what I'm doing and what's happening while I'm not conscious of that. But that's the Apple Watch. There are a lot of features in there that you might have to look up. Now, when it comes to the exercises, you'll see there are different exercises you can pick from or choose from when you do your workouts, from your cardio, your indoor walk, your outdoor walk, stair stepper, traditional weightlifting. Turn those on if you have your watch while you're working out, while you're outside walking, when you're doing it for exercise. Use those features and close those little exercise rings to give you motivation and also to track what activity you're actually doing throughout the day. So another standout is this one pictured here. It's called the Whoop. Now, this is the Whoop 5.0. I've known some friends who've had it. They've used it, maybe still using it. I don't use it. Never even thought about using one or getting one, although it might be interesting. But because I have a smartwatch, I don't think I really want to have a bracelet band. Well, not yet. But this one is interesting because it offers recovery tracking, heart rate variability or HRV, sleep performance, and strain scoring. Isn't that something? That's interesting to know, if you're doing too much and you don't even have a screen on it. So that makes it non-distracting. So you wear it and it watches your patterns and then it coaches you based on what your body's actually doing. There's an app for it. So I'll include links to these in the show notes if you want to go ahead and check them out and look up models you might want to try. But those are the items you would wear on your wrist, the smartwatches, the bracelets. And there are others. I'm not just biased to the Apple Watch, but you have the Fitbit, which has a great battery life. Get you one of those, or the Samsung Galaxy smartwatch. You can use that. All of these do the same thing. If you have it, use it, utilize it in your workouts. And it's not just for those of us over 50. I'm talking about you younger ones too. You're into this tech, use it, apply it into your workouts, into your life. Okay. So the next thing that I want is something that I want to explain to you or show you. It's something that is more subtle. And you may have heard of it. I'll show you a picture of it right here. It is the smart ring. Yeah, smart rings. They make those. This one I'm showing is the Aura Ring Generation 3. I think they've already got the Generation 4 out there, but like I've heard, there's not much difference between the generations. There might be some improved tech, but you go in there and you research if it's something you want. I've even asked my wife, should we replace our wedding rings with these tech rings? She declined, but it's okay. I still might get me one, replace, my wedding band. We don't know. But it is the Aura is the one that's most respected in this space because it's the one that's most talked about or possibly well known. It's the one that I know of because I have another one here that I thought I never heard of that. But with the Aura Ring, it tracks your sleep stages, your recovery readiness, your HRV, your heart rate variability, your body temperature, and more. You just read up on that. Just go in there and look it up and read and see if it's something you would want. But it's all in a ring that you would just wear 24/7. It's lightweight, it's discreet, and incredibly informative. So it is beneficial right there on your finger. But then there's another one. This one I had never heard of, but I looked it up, and I'll throw a picture of it here. This one is called the RingConn Generation 2. Similar metrics as the Aura, heart rate, uh, HRV, sleep, readiness, but you don't have to have a subscription fee with that. And it says that the battery life is very impressive. And so that will be the key for me. How often do I have to take this ring off and charge it? I think that's the showstopper for me as to whether I would get one or not. And of course, cost, and if I would actually utilize it, because then you have to get all of these readings from an app, I'm sure, because the ring not doesn't have a screen. It's not going to show you anything. You have to get it from the app. So smart rings are ideal for people who want powerful data without staring at a screen all day. You have to look at it as sometimes a screen on your phone, but it's good. Smart Ring, it supports international, well, intentional living without digital overload. So that is something that's incredibly valuable in such a small item like a ring. So I think I'll put a link to both of those, the R Ring and the RingConn options in the show notes so you can do your research and you look it up. But then there's another one that I've heard about that is technology that monitors your what your body is doing. And I just thought it was something made for Hollywood. This is actually kicking it up a notch. Imagine your shirt giving you real-time biometric feedback while you train. Yeah, your clothing. And that's what, here's a picture. You can see the HexoSkin. That's what brings it to the table. They do it. Their smart shirts monitor EKG, quality heart rate, breathing rate and volume, heart rate variability, activity and steps, and even sleep monitoring. Although I don't think I would sleep with this on. I think I would love to use it for workouts. So it's interesting that it mentions that athletes, astronauts, and clinical researchers use this tech. They were using, and that's like I was thinking just for Hollywood, but that's right, for scientific data. I didn't think about that. Like those with all that money to use it, that's who I thought this was for. But now we can use it. This Hexoskin shirts are machine washable. I can't believe that. They connect to an app. They're accurate enough for remote health monitoring. This right here, ladies and gentlemen, is next level training insight, especially if you're focused on endurance, recovery, and cardiac health. Can you imagine that you have this shirt on and it has this remote health monitoring where your doctor can watch what's going on with you? A nurse can see what's going on with you. Friends and family can watch what's going on with you. It's all up to you. But I'm sure I'll just put the link to this shirt in the show notes. I have to still do more research on it myself, but it's always been something that I thought about trying. Thought I would want to get my hands on. Will I do it? I don't know. It all depends on the cost, of course, and whether one of you all out there might want to try it and let me know, or have tried it and want to let me know, you know, how it's been for you. So that's it for the technology side. We're not overwhelmed because I'm sure there are probably pants, there are probably shoes out there, uh, and gloves. There might be so much other stuff. I don't know. I'm not digging that deep into it. But you remember that image I showed you, right? This one here again. Now, I've been in the gym. I sat in the gym, I think it was a famous gym, Planet Fitness. I don't care. I can say it. I've been in the gym and I seen a gentleman come in, an older gentleman, and nothing to knock him because he was working out. He came in to exercise, but he literally had on like a casual dress shirt, a button-up shirt, and some jeans. He had his sneakers on, but jeans. No, I don't want to see that. I don't. That's my next point. I want to talk about your clothing. If you're still showing up to the gym in those jeans and those old cotton t-shirts or those casual button-up shirts, let me challenge that. It's not about the fashion, it's about function when you go in there. Go out and get the clothing that works. Now, this is where I want to throw caution out there because I have worked with older people who had limited range as far as arm movement, with shoulder joint pain, limitability. Oh, is that a word? Limitability? I don't know. Being limited in their movement, their range of motion. So I can understand that putting on a t-shirt, raising your arms to get on a t-shirt might be difficult. Fine, I understand that. There are clothing that you can still put on that are athletic wear that doesn't have to be a casual dress shirt. You can get that stuff. What you wear during your workout should be able to wick sweat to keep you cool, stretch with your movement, reduce chafing and discomfort, support your posture and performance. That is what we're talking about. This is real. They make it for a reason, and it's not just for fashion statements. Although you have some good looking stuff out there, and it does almost look like people prounce, prance around the gym and like it's a fashion show. But, hey, that's not what it's for. They are able to move, it's helping them with their exercise, and it's really beneficial. Now, personally, I have a few favorites. You go out and get what's favorite for you, but look for, moisture wicking in some stretchable fabric, some that might be good compression wear. Um, like Under Armour, I've used them and still do for their heat gear and compression lines. Nike for their flexible, breathable shorts and dry fit shirts. But I'm gonna throw one out here, and I really want you all to go look it up. So all of this, I'm gonna put links to, where you can get the Under Armour and the Nike. But there's one I'm gonna put in there. It's called Zenkai Sports, Zenkai Sports. Now, I found out about them on the podcast through certification, um, my certification um, podcast, where I get certified, my ISSA podcast. They had these guys on um, who run this company called Zenkai Sports, and he said something in there, and then they offered like a massive discount. And I said, I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get this shirt. I'm gonna test this out because that's how I do. I want to see if this is true. They're they have this innovative fabric that lets sweat work with your body instead of against it. It's super breathable and anti-odor. This is what the guy said in the podcast that you can wear that shirt, sweat all you want in it, soaking wet, set it up to dry, just hang it up overnight, it'll dry out, and it will not carry an odor. I tried it. It's true. I just I've had people tell me, no way will I do that. It works, ladies and gentlemen. It is so good. In fact, hey, you know what? I'm wearing one of the shirts now. I'm wearing the shorts right now. I'm wearing Zenkai. I have no partnership with them. I just love the product. I'm just telling you that. I'm not telling you to go buy it. I just love their product. I don't know how well they're doing as far as business, but I go on their site every now and again to see what else I can buy. So, like I say, I'll include these in the show notes, the link to see some of the items for Under Armour and Nike on Amazon. Yeah, you can go on there and check it out, or you can go to their site. So that is what this show was really focusing on, using wearable tech, showing up in the gym with the right clothing on. Why do I say this? Because if you know me, Coach E, you might have heard about my system, which is known as the better fitness program. Now, let's connect the dots with this because a lot of you probably say, I've never heard of this. What is this guy talking about? It's something I created because, fitness is nothing new. You can go walk down the street, walk into a grocery store, turn the corner, and you'll see this fit guy. You might say, "Hey, what do you do to stay in shape?" "Oh, I'm a personal trainer." No surprise, because he's a walking billboard. He's going to take care of himself. He can help you. She can help you. She will have a fit body. She can help you. She can tell you what to do. But a lot of people have different ways of how they train people. Some of them train you like an athlete. Some of them, grind you to the ground. I don't do that. I try to train you at your level to what your goal is. And then I thought, why don't I design a program that does that specifically for those 50 and older? Now, why do I pick 50 and older? Well, because that's where I am. But then I thought, well, those 50 and older, you've gone through a lot in your life. You've you've maybe, taken care of a family, raised a family, you've endured a marriage, you've endured a career. You've done a lot in your life. So you know how to live, how to get through life. But you probably don't know how to take care of yourself. I'm not saying you don't, but you probably don't know some of the basic needs for just taking care of yourself physically with exercise. With all of this stuff being thrown in your face, the different types of exercise on social media, you probably want to try any and everything. But with my program, I guarantee you, you only need the basic exercise moves to work the basic body parts. So that's what better stands for. B is for basic foundation moves. The right gear, which was what we're talking about in this program, allows for clean mechanics and injury prevention doing the basic foundation moves. And then once we get that dialed in, we go into the E, the first E in better, which is the EMOM. Every minute on the minute. It brings up the intensity a little bit, but not too much for your age. Wearables like the watch, the band, or the ring help measure recovery between rounds so that you can train at the right intensity. You can watch that. I talk about this elsewhere. I'll talk about this if I was ever to coach you. And then we bring the intensity up a little bit more with time under tension. Smart apparel, clothing keeps you supported doing long duration work. Your tech monitors fatigue and helps avoid overreaching, your limits. This is great. And then we go to the next T, which is Tabata. See, these are four different exercises in these first letters. The Tabata is timed work where you do 20 seconds on, 10 seconds off. With wearables, you can track your heart rate zones, your sprint output, and even how fast you recover between those sprints. And it's not just we would have you sprinting at that age, but it's just how well you recover between those actual circuits, those Tabata circuits. And then the next E is eating healthy or eating right. Tech like Apple Watch or Oura can track your hydration trends, meal timing, and even signs of poor digestion like elevated nighttime heart rate. It can just tell you what your metrics are. That's what it can do. And then we have the R for rest and recovery. This is where wearable tech truly shines, tracking sleep stages, readiness, HRV, heart rate variability, to guide how hard you should go each day. And that's what all of this is for. I'm leading you to my program with this uh my better fitness program with me, Coach E. And it's all connected to the gear, the data, the clothing, the recovery, the movements. It's all part of a smarter, stronger lifestyle for you. So here's the deal. You don't need to be a pro athlete to use pro tools. You can see that. I'm not a pro athlete, just a at-home online fitness coach. You just need to be someone who wants to move with purpose and age with strength. Wearables, smart clothing, intentional gear, they're not extras, they're essentials, especially as we move through our 50s and beyond. You want to stay strong in your 50s, your 60s, and 70s, and you can do it. It's possible. Just know what your body is doing. So I encourage you, invest in yourself. Invest in what you dress like at the gym, what you work out in. Invest in that. Invest in wearable technology. You probably already have a smartphone. Get a smartwatch. It doesn't have to be expensive. You don't have to get the latest and greatest. You got to get something that's updated, updatable, and that works. Start showing up now with intention. So if this resonated with you, I'd love to invite you to check out my Better Fitness coaching program at ericdunston.com. Of course, that's going to be a link, but it's easy to just put it in the browser, go ericdunston.com and find me. And if you go to the Better program up there in the top of my website, it'll go through the program itself. You can sign up and get you can fill out the form in there and get the Better Fitness Program guide for free. It's yours, and you can read up more on that when you log in or when it's sent to you. So it's where we put all of this into action with real workouts. That's what the Better Fitness Program is all about, real strategies and real results for life after 50. And as always, every product I mentioned today will be linked for you in the show notes so you can explore and upgrade your fitness toolkit. So that's it. That's all I have for you today. Until next time, stay ready, stay resilient, and always wear it well so we can get better. Take care, everyone. Thanks for listening to Beyond the Workout podcast. I hope you enjoyed the show. Please be sure to check me out at ericdunston.com and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Physique Improvements. Take care, everyone.